This unit is about figures drawn in pictures. What is the difference between a picture and a figure? In everyday life, even a triangle can be called a picture, but in mathematics, the two are kept quite separate. A picture is about feelings and atmosphere, and our mind focuses on what was drawn. On the other hand, a figure is about what shape it is. Its purpose is to convey the properties and relationships of that shape in an objective way. In short, a picture invites interpretation, but a figure needs everyone to understand the same properties. A figure is closer to an instruction manual than to an opinion about how it looks. Let us think about nature. A mountain can be green or brown, but geometry does not care much about its color. Geometry looks at where it is, what shape it has, and how big it is. Like the bends of a river, the veins of a leaf, or the hexagons of a beehive, when we begin to write down the motifs before our eyes in the language of shape, nature moves from something we simply observe to something we truly understand. It is hard to leave out Euclid when we talk about the person who built the system of figures we study today. Euclid's Elements is a book that explains figures by starting from definitions and axioms and moving through proofs, forming a basic framework. That is why the modern geometry units naturally follow this flow. Euclid defined point, line, and plane in this way. A point has no part. In other words, it cannot be divided any further, and it has only position. A line is length without width. That is, we can think of a line as the trace left by a moving point. A plane has length and width. We can think of it as the trace left when a line moves sideways. From here on, we move away from what something is and toward what something can do. The axioms of elements are exactly such sentences. An axiom is a promise we start with without proof. For example, they include things like these. From any point, a straight line can be drawn to any other point. With any center and any radius, a circle can be drawn. All right angles are equal to one another. Even without proof, they make us nod and say, yes, that is true. On top of these promises, we carefully build up the properties of triangles and quadrilaterals. The reason that the study of figures begins with drawing motifs as pictures also lies here. By finding points, lines, and planes scattered through nature and beginning to transfer them into precise figures, we come to read nature farther and deeper. Even when we give names, we quietly borrow from shapes. Sometimes just hearing a name brings its form to mind. Think of the word starfish, for example. We immediately think of a 5-point shape. The better our sense of shape becomes, the faster our understanding of nature grows with it. That is why knowing figures is just as important as drawing figures accurately. The people of ancient Greece, using only a ruler without markings and a compass, created an astonishing number of figures. Geometric construction was at the same time a field of study, a culture, and a game. Connecting 2 points, drawing a circle, and transferring a length, these simple rules made mathematics strong. When these traditional construction rules meet artificial intelligence today, another door opens. Arrangements and transformations that designers or architects used to work on for hours can now be done by artificial intelligence in just a few minutes. Still, an important question remains. What rules will we put in, and how far can we imagine how the figures will change? As calculation becomes faster, what becomes clearer is creativity. Creativity is the power to imagine changes in shape and to propose forms that do not yet exist. Is there a motif that you saw today that you would like to turn into a figure?